So I decided to put this iPhone to the test 12 years later. Let's see what's on my iPhone 5 in 2024. Let's get right into it. Now, I love making videos like these because it kind of blows my mind the things that you can do with old iPhones, even in 2024. This phone here is jailbroken, so it has a few other features unlocked, which kind of gives it the ability to, connect to the App Store, to be able to download so many of these random games that we have here. We'll go through all of this in just a second, but I just wanted to say, guys, if you have an old iPhone laying around, charge it up, see what kind of things you can do with it, because you guys will be surprised when you turn this thing on after many, many years. And if you guys are also curious on how I got the App Store up and running once again on iOS 6, I made a video on that a few months ago. I'll have it linked at the top right. But without further ado, let's go ahead and actually see what is on this iPhone 5. We will actually take a look at what case I'm actually using on this iPhone 5. So this is the official iPhone 5S case. So this actually came out a year after this phone was released, but it does fit the iPhone 5 perfectly fine. It is a little broken, as you guys can see there near the headphone jack. The black with the black, definitely a very stealthy look. So yeah, definitely nice. I was able to get this one off of eBay for like 20 bucks. It was in this gigantic eBay lot. So very, very nice to see. The other thing that I wanted to show you guys on here is actually iMessage. So I am signed into my Apple ID. iMessage does work. I'm actually just going to type in my name and my number right over there. Just going to have to blur that out, but we'll just type in something here. We'll say, hello, send this to myself. And look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hellos coming back to us. That is definitely a glitch. And you know what? For the nostalgia, we're going to turn up the volume right over here. And we're going to do that again and see if it pops up on the lock screen. Take a look at that, guys. Cool to see the iMessage is working. You can send photos, but I'm pretty sure you can receive photos. So that is one thing to keep in mind. The next thing that I want to show you guys here is the Maps app. So for those who don't remember, the Maps app stopped working, and I am just going to blur that out because that is literally the area that I live in. But you guys can see you can actually search things up now, and this is fixed via a Cydia tweak. I'm pretty sure I made a video on this as well. I'll have everything linked down below. But as you guys can see, Vancouver, this is where I was born. Pretty cool to see. And if you click into this and you actually try to get directions, that is not going to work because this app is kind of running based off of a tweak, so it's not going to have 100% functionality. Just going to clean that there for a second. So cool to see that we got the Maps app working. The next app that I want to show you guys here is the Weather app. So this is also being fixed through a tweak on the phone, but it's actually kind of cool. I mean, the local weather here is 102 degrees, and actually I'm just going to pull up my iPhone SE right over here and compare this weather. Let's go to all the way to Goodyear. So it looks like there's like a 4-degree discrepancy, so not terrible. So yeah, nice to see that we got the Weather app right there as well. And then the App Store. The App Store has been working, then it stopped working, and then it started working again. So it's kind of been on and off. It's definitely a weird one for sure. But at the moment right now, it is working through a tweak that I'm using on this device. And as you guys can see, we'll just go ahead and install the Messenger app. And I am signed into my Apple ID as well, so this should work. And usually it's going to ask you if you want to download the last supported version of this app. Basically, it's going to download whichever last supported version was available for iOS 6 in this case. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work. That's why this is going to be a trial and error process. And this is what I like about using old devices, is because you never know like which app works, which app doesn't. It's kind of like a game. So you got to download it, see if you're able to log in, and see if it actually ends up working. From my experience though, I don't think Messenger is going to work. I don't think it's like ever worked on iOS 6 in like the past few years, but we're just going to download it for the sake of this video. So we'll let that download in the background. So the next app that I want to show you on here is going to be a throwback. So first of all, we got Spotify, but the thing with Spotify is they disconnected themselves or whatever. So you're not actually able to sign in through Facebook or through your Spotify account. So Spotify does not work anymore. But Pandora, on the other hand, does actually work on this device, which I thought was like kind of crazy, but it pretty much works. I mean, you're able to search up music and everything. You know, we got the One Direction radio on here. Shout out, Story of My Life. I think this is a 2012 song. I can't necessarily remember off the top of my head, but guys, I don't know if it gets any more nostalgic than this. Like imagine like you're walking down like an airport or whatever, you have your headphones plugged in. Like, I was literally using this phone earlier today to listen to music, and I thought that was really, really cool. And we're actually going to do that real quick just to show you guys that it is very well possible to use this device and actually like turn it into a daily media device. The only drawback is that you do need Wi-Fi to use Pandora, but I mean, if you're with your main iPhone, you can probably just hotspot it. But I honestly thought this was really cool. Like, this is definitely a huge plus. Okay, so now let's get into social media. So right off the bat, guys, like, social media apps on this phone pretty much won't work. We have Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. So I am signed into one of my, like old accounts, which I don't really use. But you guys can see nothing is gonna load. But what I do like about this is we can actually edit photos on here. So I'm actually just gonna take a photo of my set right over here. You guys can see that looks pretty cool. And we're gonna edit this photo like it's 2012. So when people used to like overdo the filters like crazy, take a look at that. We're just gonna, maybe, actually I used to use the one called, it started with V, yeah, Valencia. That was my favorite one to use. And then I guess you could screenshot this and then save it to your phone, which is kind of cool. So I guess Instagram does work to some extent. One thing I will say, guys, is be careful with which apps you do sign into, especially banking related apps. You probably don't want to be trying to sign into those. I mean, I have a banking app on here, TD Canada Trust, and I was able to download this from the App Store. But I'm probably not going to attempt to log into this just because it is very outdated software. So I'd rather not do that. So just be careful with that. So last but not least, I did want to go quickly over some of my favorite iPhone games. Temple Run is an absolute classic. This is actually the first time that I'm launching this app on this phone. So we're just going to go ahead and play that tutorial. Actually, I forgot how to play this. Oh, you have to actually move the phone. So I forgot about that. But the game here that I've been playing the most is called Boost. I don't know if you guys know this game, but this was one of my favorite games back in the days, but I actually ended up buying this by accident. And this is really funny. So when you're on the App Store and it says like buy the app, it doesn't even ask you to confirm. Like, I just like hit it once or like maybe twice, and then it ended up purchasing the app itself. But anyways, like, I would totally buy this app, guys. Like, this game is a lot of fun. So I'll show you guys how this one works. It might be a little hard to see on the top of the screen, but yeah, this was a classic for sure. I used to like have music playing in the background, listening to all of my 2012 songs. And yeah, I feel like this could totally be like, like one of those TikToks where they have like Subway Surfers in the background. Like, they should just replace Subway Surfers with a video clip of this game. I think that would be pretty cool to see. Other than that, we have like Angry Birds, Subway Surfers, Doodle Jump. I'm not gonna go through all these games because I'm sure you guys know how all these games work. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We have a lot of other apps on this as well, but this video is gonna be way too long if we go through everything. And then last but not least, and I promise this is gonna be the last one, guys, we got speed test, and look at that. Talking Tom is trying to what did he say? I have to go to the bathroom, please. Guys, I can't make this stuff up. Speed test works, and this is interesting because usually we're able to get about like 100 megabits per second here, but I would assume that this phone's Wi-Fi chip or whatever isn't able to pull that much data, but nonetheless, it's pretty cool to see that we're able to get this to work. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a nostalgic one for sure. I think it's cool just in general to see that iOS 6 is still working. It's not working the same way that it used to, but the thing that I really like a lot about the iPhone community is that there is a community out there that is very invested into making a lot of these applications work. So shout out to all the developers who have made all these different tweaks. I'll have a list of all these tweaks down below in the description box of this video, so you guys can also test it out for yourself as well. But yeah, huge shout out to everyone. It definitely is a lot of work, and yeah, like seriously, thank you for making videos like these possible. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be back next week. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.